You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 12th meeting of the LaPorte County Sheriff's Merit Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good morning. As you can see, we have absent Louise Mox. I don't know if she's out trying to find a parking place or just what. It's pretty crowded around the courthouse, and so hopefully she'll be in shortly. Everyone have an opportunity to review the minutes from last month's meeting? Are there any corrections to be made? Oh, there's Miss Mock now. You can come up and join us. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion to have a second. Motion seconded. Any questions? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Thank you. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
Thank you.
How are you?
Great. Beautiful weather out there. Spring is finally here, and snow next week, though.
Well, you know who we have to thank for this great weather?
Would that be former Sheriff Mike Mullenhour?
He lassoed the sunshine and the warm weather and brought it back from his lengthy stay in Florida. So thank you for doing that, Mike.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Now that he's back, I heard we may get snow next week. So.
Yeah.
Go back to Florida.
Yeah, bring some sunshine back with you.
Absolutely.
Again. Are you ready for me this morning?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Our calls for service between February and March increased. I think that comes as no surprise as the weather is starting to get nice and people are starting to get a little cabin fever, itching to get out and starting to create a little ruckus. So that's normal for this time of year. Our total calls for service increased by 8%. In February, our officers responded to 2,314 calls. In March, they responded to 2,502. Our crash reports increased from 77 to 100. Our citations decreased from 1,062 to 945. Our disabled vehicles increased from 132 to 174. What's interesting is you look at E, our days and afternoons saw slight decreases in their calls for service for the month, and our midnight shift saw an increase. We've been seeing that here lately the past couple months, which is kind of strange. But, okay. Deputy Disbro and Sanchez finished with their FTO, and it has been reported that they are doing quite well. Deputy Disbro is on the midnight shift, and Deputy Sanchez is on the day shift. We are extremely pleased with their progress and the way they are moving quite along. Deputies Velazquez and Buford have begun their FTO process, and from what I hear, they're doing well as well too, so we're very happy with them. Deputies Paulo Pesa, Joe Walker, and Jet Bellina have begun their FTO process. All three will go through an accelerated FTO program due to having the academy under their belt already and their previous law enforcement experience. They should be wrapping up here with their FTO process the end of this month, the first of next month. So we are definitely seeing a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. We've gone through some overtime this first part of the year so far because we've been technically 11 officers down that have been ineffective to us. Either they've been in the academy or they've been going through FTO or we've needed to hire some officers. So we've been, since the first of the year, technically 11 officers down. So it's been eating up the overtime. We are going to be on the April's agenda for the county council for some more overtime money already for that reason. If you recall last year, we didn't have to go to the council at all for any overtime money because we were able to transfer all those unused salaries into our overtime account, but since we've got these individuals hired, we can't transfer their salaries back over. Recent hires, Patrick Weedle, Sawyer LaFoon, and Xavier Biggerstaff have all been enrolled into the next ILEA class, and this was kind of a late, short notice that we were able to get them enrolled in the next ILEA class in Plainfield, and they're going to start May 1st. We had them enrolled already into the NILEA class, which starts in August. However, Thursday afternoon, we received an email from the Academy all agencies did, that if you've got anybody that needs to get into the next class because they had some unexpected openings for whatever reason, to sign up. I forwarded this information to Sergeant Boswell and to Captain Allen, and they immediately got on it, and we were able to get all three in the next ILEA class, which starts May 1st. So that's great news. That's really going to help get us ahead of the curve even further. So we have received applications from the Indiana Sheriff's Association for any students within the 7th or 8th grade who would like to participate in the 2023 Youth Sheriff's Leadership Camp. It's to be held June 12th through the 15th. Applications can be picked up at the Sheriff's Office or with any school resource officer that we have. All of our deputies recently attended CPR training. This is required training that is required to be recertified every 2 years. I'd like to thank Captains Dallas Smythe, Deputies Andrew Morris, and Ryan Doporowski for facilitating this training. On Monday, March 13th, our K-9 unit presented a demonstration at the Haverstock Funeral Home for a Working Dogs Honoring K-9 Heroes event that was hosted by Haverstock. At the conclusion of the demonstration, we received 3 donations to our K-9 fund. One was from Haverstock Funeral Home, another one was from Eternal K-9 Training Services, one was from Harris Precast here in LaPorte. The 3 donations have been deposited into our K-9 fund. On Friday, May 12th at 11 a.m., we'll be holding our Joint Peace Officer Memorial Program. This year's event will be held at the Michigan City FOP Lodge 75. The keynote speaker will be Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales. And as always, a light lunch will follow the ceremony, and every one of you are more than welcome to attend and join us for lunch afterwards. I'd like to provide a little bit of an update on the flood. Chief, would you like to provide the update on the progress, or I can real quick? I spoke to Larry Lewandowski yesterday. Things are moving along really well. I'm really happy.
You just go right ahead.
I'll just go right ahead and can't keep on trucking with this. The chief's been our liaison, so I would have deferred to him, but I'll continue on because I'm pleased and happy with the progress that's being made. They have our workout room that was received some damage. They've got that completely drywalled. We're waiting on the new flooring to come in, and once that gets in, they're going to paint and put the new ceiling up, and we move all that new gym equipment back into the workout room. So that's progressing well. I spoke with Larry Lewandowski yesterday. We received the okay from the environmental specialist to begin reconstruction. They're going to start drywalling and mudding and taping and painting this week. And then once they get that done, obviously they're going to finish up there and then move over and switch into the other half. So I'm very happy, very pleased with the progress that's going on. It can be rather noisy some days with the construction, but that's music to my ears because that means we're moving along. So I do have a couple letters of commendation that I would like to read. One was from an email from Diane Hoover. It says, this afternoon at 2:15 p.m., I was leaving a medical appointment on the 4th floor at Franciscan Hospital. I noticed Deputy Grimberg, who Captain Heineck assisted with me in identifying the deputy's name, making small talk with an old gentleman with a portable oxygen tank. I was walking behind them to the elevator. While waiting for the elevator car, the older gentleman was struggling a bit to hold his oxygen tank and asked Deputy Grimberg to hold it for him until the 1st floor. As we entered the car, I caught the deputy's eye and smiled, which he returned. It warmed my heart to see this interaction. I tried to look for the officer's name because I wanted to let somebody know about this good deed or act of kindness. It may have been a small or simple task, but I'm sure this gentleman appreciated this help. Seems too many people are ready to bash our law enforcement officers. I noticed today that this law enforcement officer was kind and willing to assist this gentleman. God bless you all. Sincerely, Diane Hoover. I thought that was nice that she noticed that and sent us an email. I have another one. It says, I wanted to write to you about an outstanding job with one of you officers today. I'm one of the 911 dispatchers that was involved on the call. One of my call takers got a 911 call from a kidney dialysis patient which was bleeding profusely from his access site. She asked that a county officer be en route because of the severity, the potential that the patient could bleed out, and the normally rapid response of the officers. Evan Dobrowski was that officer. He responded immediately. There was a question as to why an officer was going to a medical call, but not from him. Due to his rapid response and quick thought, he provided a tourniquet for the fire department to apply as they had the PPE equipment on. The patient was transported to the hospital, signaled 10 due to his condition. Being in fire and EMS for several years myself, I have zero doubts that his quick actions and thinking gave that man the best chance that he could have. Evan is an outstanding deputy, and his actions just prove that even more. Shannon Swisher from the 911 Center. I've reached out to both of these officers, Mr. Dobrowski and Mr. Grimberg, and I commended them on their responses and their actions in regards. So, and then Mr. Kimmel, you provided another one that we received as well too, referenced Deputy Jake Coach. And I'll summarize this. Deputy Jake Coach works part-time at Franciscan Hospital in their security guard. And it's probably been a month or so ago, the Department of Corrections brought in an inmate into the hospital to be treated. He overpowered the guards and started attacking everybody there. And Deputy Jake Coach stepped in and helped them subdue this officer or this inmate. I believe he was actually trying to go for one of the officer's guns as well too. So another shining example of our officers. The hospital did present Jake Coach with an award just the other day, which I found out about it because I read the post as well on Facebook. I approached Jake Coach about it, and Jake, being as humble as he is, just kind of shrugged it off and just was just doing part of his job. So I really appreciate the work that the men and women do at the Sheriff's Office do. So as in normal fashion, that's all I have today. That's light. We do have our next meeting will be May 10th with the pension board to follow that meeting. Attached, you'll find the warrants, Detective Bureau, and Jail Monthly reports attached to the agenda.
Thank you, Sheriff. I believe next month's meeting with the pension board, I believe we also have a presentation from McCready and Keene on the status of stuff and the actuary.
That's what I'm told, yes.
All right. Well, if we were told by Dilts, it's probably going to happen. So
now we will have a new gentleman from McCready and Keene because Stan retired at the end of March. We received notice that Stan Brown was retiring, and that we will have a new gentleman here who will be our advisor for McCready and Keene.
that does not make me happy because Stan was just an absolute wealth of knowledge, and he will be sorely missed.
He really will. I think he said in his letter to us that he had 35 years in at McCready and Keene, and he had been there his entire career, but he has decided that it's time to retire. So
good for him. Wish him well. Are there any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Hearing none, move on. Comments from the board. Jim? Ms. Mock?
I apologize for being late, but I couldn't find anywhere to park. I was here 10 minutes running around. Finally, I was trying to find something with a sign with my name on it. Couldn't find that, so I tell you, that's why I'm late. I've been out there running around for 10, 15 minutes. So I apologize for being late.
We actually called that, Ms. Mock, because some of the rest of us also had problems finding parking places. So we'll work on that, identifying that parking
Sign with
spot.
my name on it. Is
Yeah.
that it? Okay.
I'm sure Sheriff's going to jump all over that.
I have yet to have a parking spot with my name on it, so we might be waiting a while. I'm told there's a jury selection is going on today over at the courthouse, so that's the reason for the limited parking today.
Okay. Jen? Laura?
No.
Really? Wow. Okay. Well, I want to just state that I'm very pleased with the progress that's being made to attempt to hire in today's world, trying to get deputies to come in and the other departments around our area. It is a challenge and ongoing battle, but I believe at this point we're one short.
That is correct.
Okay. And I know we just had the 2 that we hired a couple weeks ago, and again, I just want to thank all the gentlemen and ladies down in the Bureau for getting the reports and the background checks done, and for Chief Ott for his due diligence on everything from the PT testing and the written test, and thank you all for getting that done. We can move as quickly as we can get all the information. Sometimes I think we kind of get ourselves caught up trying to move too fast. But I think in this case, it's worked out well with the availability of ILEA. I personally would rather see our deputies going there. Nothing against Northwest, but I think they just get more intensive training and they're not. I think they're more focused when they get down there. So either way, it's great that we've got all 3 of them in there. And that is all I have. So, are there any other comments? None? Okay, have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Meeting adjourned at 9:21. Thank you.